What's good YouTube? Welcome back to the Game Homies. I'm Homie J.
I'm Homie
With the Game Homies. Alright, so in this video we got a little class setup. It's for the Mp5. So let's get into the video. Alright, so for the first class setup here, we got a Modern Warfare class setup. So the first attachment is the monolithic integral suppressor for sound suppression and bullet velocity. Second is the 5 mW laser for hipfire accuracy and sprint to fire speed. Next is the Merc foregrip for hipfire accuracy and recoil control. The next is the 10mm auto 30 round mags for damage and range. Next is the stipple grip tape for aim down sight speed and sprint to fire speed. Also, if you want to have a Warzone class setup, all you got to do is switch the 10mm round mags or the 9mm round 45 round mags. So then you can have a nice Warzone class setup. So now that all the class setups are all said and done, I'm gonna pass the mic over to homie Zay so he can do the goal guide.
To start off with the goal guide, first we got spray paint. Spray paint is 500 kills. Next we have woodland. Woodland is 100 headshot kills. Next we have digital, 110 crouch kills. Next we got dragon, 100 hipfire kills. Next we got Splinter. For Splinter, it's 50 long shot kills. We did this on Shoot House. We really just mounted on the walls there. But it doesn't matter which mode you do it on because the MP5 is an SMG. So shooting from far away will, for like medium range for an assault rifle, would be long range for an SMG. That's not always the case, but for most of the time it is. Next we got Topo. Topo is 50 mount kills. Now you can do this on any map, it doesn't matter. You can do this with no attachments, is whatever. Next we got Tiger. Tiger is 250 kills with attachments. This is easy because as soon as you max out the gun, you can use any attachments. Or, I mean, even if you're in the middle of maxing out the gun, it doesn't really matter. Now we have Stripes. Stripes is 40 kills after reloading. I suggest that you use sleight of hand for this with 10mm 30 round mags because, you know, it's less ammo in the clip, and sleight of hand helps you aim faster. So as you know, you're in the middle of a battle, reload that clip, and now you got your Tiger challenges. I mean, your Stripes challenge is done. Next we got Reptile. Reptile is 75 kills with no attachments. You usually start off with about 1 or 2 kills already with Reptile because, well, using the SMG when you're first getting it, you automatically get some kills because that's how you level it up. Lastly, we got Skulls. Skulls is 25 3-gun streak kills. This means that you've killed enemies 3 times without dying 25 times. This is very easy. All you have to do is just camp. And then once you complete all of these camo challenges, you finally get gold. It's very satisfying. Looks pretty clean on the MP5. And that's about it.
Alright, so let's talk about the experience a little. So, in my opinion, I don't like the MP5. It's probably one of my least favorite SMGs in the game. Of course, it's pretty decent. It's actually a very good SMG. It's just not enjoyable to use. Let's see how homie Zay likes it.
In my opinion, I love the MP5. It was the first weapon I used in Warzone because that's the first, well, out of the 3 Call of Duties I played. Warzone, I grabbed the MP5 as, again, like I said, the first weapon. I liked it. It's an SMG. It works from medium range to close range. Great hip fire accuracy. In my opinion, they could really buff more of the damage, especially now that I play hardcore a lot on Shipment and Shoot House. It doesn't do enough damage as most guns do. For example, an AK against an MP5 close range battle, technically because the AK is a one-shot kill in hardcore, it's worse, but the MP5's, well, you know, an SMG, so like, it's gonna automatically like start spraying all over the place.
Alright, so, I mean, if you talk about Warzone here, Warzone, it's a very good SMG actually. It's one of the top SMGs in Warzone aside from, well, right now, like the LC-10, nail gun, and the Cold War MP5. The MP5 for Modern Warfare is actually still very good. In actual Modern Warfare though, there is better options. Definitely, like just stuff like the Fennec, even the ISO, and the MP7 definitely. Now, let's see if Zay has any more opinions on the gun before we move on.
Yes, I have a couple more opinions on the gun, but to conclude it really, to like summarize everything about the MP5, think it's a very nice gun. Usually I run it as a secondary. I don't really main the MP5 because I don't like maining SMGs. But, you know, if you have, like, I don't know, MP5 and Car 98, great Warzone thing to use. You know, Car 98 is very reliable. If you don't hit a shot, you got the MP5 to back you up. But I ran 725 in MP5. 725, I popped off my first 2 shots. I missed. MP5 came in clutch. But that's really it. You know, I really like the MP5. I think it's a very good weapon. It's good for close range. Again, medium range, you might want to run a scope, but it doesn't really matter. Close range, like I said, it's an SMG, so it fires pretty fast. It doesn't fire as fast as maybe the Fennec, the ISO maybe, or the Mp5, but very reliable.
Alright, so we got through everything. Let's just let this gameplay finish out.
So high up through the clouds, I was swimming. I'm probably gonna drown when I'm in it. I bet she gonna get loud when I'm in it. And we might have a child when I'm